Good afternoon, folks. My name is Jake Seaton with music.mync.com, and you're watching Sessions at Studio B with Bowerbirds.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And the warbler sings, and the sparrow sings, through the wheels on the interstate, and here's no and the beetle creeps on the crippled trees, and it looks down to where the soul must have been worn dry. And no, you're not alone. No, my cousins, you're not alone. You're in our talents now, and we're never letting go. And the branches bend on the crippled trees, and they ask it to spread their seeds, for they know they're drowning. And no, you're not alone. No, my cousins, you're not alone. You're in our talents now, and we're never letting go. You're in our headlights, frozen, and no, we're not stopping. You may not believe, but even we were scared at first. It takes a lot of nerve to destroy this wondrous earth. We're only human, this at least we've learned.
All right. Well, Beth and Phil, thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I guess to get started, could you tell me a little bit about how Bowerbirds first started?
It started as kind of a solo project for me, but for only a few months and for only a few songs, and then Beth learned how to play the accordion in a short amount of time, and played even the first show as the Bowerbirds. And so I don't know, it was supposed to be a side project to my band at the time called Ticonderoga. But yeah.
So, Beth, you learned to play accordion just in the last few years?
Yeah, he was on tour with Ticonderoga, the band he was in before, and one of them left an accordion behind, and I picked it up and really liked it. And I used to play the piano, so it's kind of an easy transition, but it's like 3 years ago.
So when you were writing these songs originally before Beth joined, how were you picturing the compositions?
I guess I was just picturing them as just me, or with the instrumentation, just like me and a guitar at first, and then maybe I was gonna add maybe like an upright bass if my friend wanted to do it or whatever, or just I kind of envisioned that sound, but just like really woody and clacky kind of, but just quiet music. So. Yeah.
Well, growing up, you grew up in Iowa, is that correct?
Iowa, yeah.
What kind of music were you listening to? Was it this folky music, or?
Yeah, some of it definitely was. Some of it was, my parents were kind of into like pop 60s kind of folk music, like Peter, Paul and Mary, and like Simon and Garfunkel and things like that. So, yeah, I definitely had like a lot of that, and I started listening to Bob Dylan a little later. But yeah, so I got to cover my bases with like 60s folk kind of thing, I guess. But yeah.
What about you, Beth? I mean, apparently, I guess you didn't listen to accordion music, really, did you?
No, not at all. But I did listen to Simon and Garfunkel in 7th grade, and I guess I was into indie rock in general. Like in high school, I would go to a lot of shows at the Cat's Cradle and Duke Coffee House and stuff like that. I liked the Connells and Dylan Fence and Polvo and Arches of Loaf and stuff.
Okay, so you were into that power pop and the indie rock that really came from this area. Okay. So when your first album was Hymns of a Dark Horse, when did you start writing the songs for that album?
Those were like some of the original songs on that were the original songs, or the first songs I started writing as the Bowerbirds. And so we had released kind of a smaller EP just to sell. We opened up for the Rosebuds April 1st or whatever, 2006 maybe it was.
Was that the first show?
That was our first big show. We played at Bickett Gallery. That was our first show. Then we played at Alibi downtown here, and then we played the Cat's Cradle. So we were still pretty like fledglings, no pun intended. But yeah.
Well, it really seems like the Rosebuds have helped a lot of local artists out. I mean, Love Language, y'all. What do you think it is about that band that attracts people and people listen to them as far as their opinions go with these?
I don't know. They're just nice people.
The Rosebuds?
Yeah.
Well, they're also really good songwriters and performers, and they have like really good voices, and they're just really good at writing a good melody. So.
So you think that respect that people have for them as songwriters translates to people respecting the artists that they're kind of backing?
I think so. Yeah. And they took us out on tour, and it's just, I think they try to take bands on tour that they think will appeal to a similar audience, and so that really helped us get more exposure to people from the beginning. I mean, that was pretty awesome. Our third show was for 700 people, and so we got to sell a bunch of EPs there and sort of introduce ourselves to a lot of people. And I mean, they're more of it. It's great also for them to have quiet bands open for them, because they're such a like fun party band in a way, that it's like a nice build up throughout the night to have a quieter band start.
Yeah.
But I guess Love Language isn't very quiet, so never mind.
Well, okay, going back to Hymns of a Dark Horse, when you guys recorded that album, was it just the two of you, or did you incorporate other instrumentation into that?
We had our friend Mark record the whole album. He recorded most everything that we've done so far. But he recorded that album, and as well as our EP. When we recorded our EP, it was just going to be the two of us at first, and then he added violin kind of sneakily, or I guess he played the drum on some songs, because we did
everything live.
We did everything live, so
we were like, we want drums here.
Yeah.
And then he sneakily added all these violin parts, and we were like, that's really beautiful. Do you want to play with us when we play the Cat's Cradle?
Yeah. And that's kind of how he joined our band and everything.
So when you were writing that album, where were you as a songwriter?
Oh, probably at a pretty confused place of like what I think, I was just like trying to figure out what I kind of wanted, or I was trying to figure out, because I love so many different styles of music, so I was trying to figure out what my genre was basically, so that's where I was at the time. I was trying to figure out, okay, where would I, how would I naturally write a song if I were to write a song? What kind of song would it be? So I'm trying to say, yeah.
Okay. Well, do you mind playing a few more songs for us?
Sure.
Excellent.
This one's a newer song. It is called House of Diamonds. Shackled to your bed and bound and gagged. Oh my, what a predicament. And further on, the day grows long, and your sister marries a nice young man, and they build a house of diamonds. But the sun is snuffed by the curtains. Can someone come untie you? But there is too much work to do. Yes, they're all admire you. You are free. You are already free. You are already free. Of the diamond houses in the city's cluster, from your own ego, from your own blunder. Yes, you own the stars, you own the thunder, but you have to share it all. Yes, you own the stars, you own the thunder, but you have to share. You are free. You are already free. You are already free. All right. Cool. And this next one is titled Northern Lights. I don't need from you a waterfall of careless praise, and I don't need a trophy for all the games I've played, but all I want is your eyes. I don't need you to catch my wandering mind, and I don't expect a southern girl to know the northern lights, but all I want is your eyes. In the morning as we wait for a short while, and I do need the wind across my pale face, and I do need the ferns to unfurl in the spring, and I do need the grass to sway. Yes, I do need to know my place, but all I want is your eyes. In the morning as I wait for a short while.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so since releasing Hymns of a Dark Horse, you guys have since signed with Dead Oceans
Yes.
and are preparing to release your sophomore album.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys get hooked up with Dead Oceans to begin with?
Well, we met Phil Waldorf. We were touring with John Vanderslice, and we met Phil, who is the head of Dead Oceans, at a show in Austin, where he's from, and just kind of chatted for a little bit, and didn't really think much came from it or whatever, you know, or didn't think he was paying us too much of a mind, I guess, or whatever. But then he ended up giving us a call at the end of, wasn't that tour, but the tour after that. He gave us a call, and we were riding home after like a month-long tour or something like that, and just offered us, you know, said, would you be interested? And, you know, we said yes, that'd be awesome. So.
Okay, so they have they re-released Hymns. Was that something you guys wanted to do, or was that something that they approached you about?
We wanted to do that, and I think it made sense. I think from our conversations, like before, from our conversations, like initially, our first conversations, that there were, you know, that there was a good idea because it hadn't really seen as much attention as it could, you know, or it wasn't in record stores basically, and so
Wanted to have distribution,
Distribution.
and so they had to release it a year later, but after we first put it out, but then at least it could be in record stores.
Mhm.
So
Well, how's the reception been since they re-released that album? I mean, have you seen your fan base grow?
yeah, it's kind of been like slow and steady though, because our fan base kind of grew through like blogs or I don't know, magic or something like that. So, and then like, but the sales for our record have been pretty consistent since it's been in stores and everything like that since then.
and then in Europe, they released it in Europe a little bit after they released it here. So then now we have fans in Europe.
Oh, speaking of Europe, you guys just got back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How was that tour?
it was
It's fun.
great. It was kind of like some of the drives were more grueling, even than some of the U.S. tours we've been on. But like it was really, really fun. We went with Mickey from town, from Raleigh here, and
Mickey
Mickey
DeLoe,
DeLoe and
Brad Cook.
Brad Cook from Megaphone and Raleigh.
Well, were you guys playing with European bands while you were over there, or were they mostly solo shows? It was just you guys.
It was mostly just us.
Yeah.
Yeah, except when we played festivals, but we played with a lot of American bands. I guess we only played one festival this time, but American bands, yeah, at the festivals. So.
How were you guys received over there?
I would say, well, pretty well, definitely, but like almost kind of like the States, it's pretty similar
Mhm.
vibe.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But,
Well, so you guys, like I mentioned, you were about to release your sophomore album,
yeah.
Upper Air.
Yeah.
Tell me about that album. When did you start writing that? Was it immediately after you finished Hymns, or is this something that came
Yeah.
out in the last year or so?
It was kind of immediately after we ended touring. Our first string of tours, which ended with the Mountain Goats, I would say, and the songs just kind of, we started writing songs back then, and like those last two songs we played, actually, the music for that they were written after that, and then then we were also building a cabin out on some land near Pittsburgh, and so that was taking up a lot of our time, and so it took us a long time from start to finish to actually, write and record and release this one. But yeah.
Well, I asked where you were as a songwriter for the last album. How about this one?
Still just as confused. No, I don't know. Just I don't know. Like I feel like I know my style at least, now, which is good. And songs come a lot more naturally without having to think as much about what they are. I just can concentrate kind of on what emotion or like what kind of story I convey. So it's a good place to be, I think.
Well, when you were writing Hymns, you mentioned you were a solo artist, and Beth wasn't with you at the time.
Yeah.
But this time, of course, she's been with you for several years.
Yeah.
So have you had to keep that in the back of your mind, writing these songs? Like, now I've got this other dynamic that I've got to consider?
Yeah, definitely. And it hasn't been very difficult because everything's still pretty minimal. So we've incorporated the keyboard this time, or like the piano on the recording. So so I think about it like when I'm writing a song, and then I also don't think about it as, I try not to think about it, because it's kind of stifling to be like, okay, this next album has to be Mark, Beth, and me, like doing the same things that we've been doing for the past like 2 years or 1 year or whatever it was at the time. And that kind of mentality kind of strangles the creative process, I think. So, but just to know that Beth is there and is very talented and can play, a lot of different things like percussion and keyboard and accordion is freeing. So I can I can hear a different sort of instrument than the accordion and be like, okay, well, Beth can play this. That's good, So,
Well, the album comes out on July 7th, but it actually leaked several months ago.
yeah.
Was that a shock to you, or was that something that you were kind of expecting?
It was actually a shock that it hadn't leaked earlier, because a lot of what our record label what Phil was telling us was that like a lot of albums that he's put out recently have leaked maybe,
Like 2 months before the release date.
even 3 or 4 months before the release date somehow, and so we got actually relatively lucky with that. Yeah.
Well, of course, it's too early to tell whether it harms record sales or not.
Yeah.
But do you think that it's helped your exposure? I mean, do you think that it's reached a wider audience than it may have if it hadn't?
Yeah, I do believe that. I'm one of those people that believes that, I guess. But I also really like the idea of a release date, and like having it be a special day that you go and buy this album, because that's when, when I was back in college, and I remember certain albums coming out and just getting really, really excited for them, and that one Tuesday of the 1 month, and just being like, oh, awesome. And go to the record store and finally get that album and see future releases on the chalkboard and everything. So that, I don't know, but now it's just a different thing for people to be nostalgic for. It's like, oh, when is my torrent coming up on uTorrent? Oh, I can't wait for that day.
Well, you guys are also going to hit the road the day before the release.
Yeah.
But you don't have any immediate dates scheduled here in the Triangle for like an album release party. Is there anything in the works for when you get back?
We're playing the Carver Arts Center. It's like the
very last
day of our tour, and we're thinking of making that
it'll
a
be
co-album release party, because Megathon's releasing an album, we're releasing an album, and we're playing together at the Arts Center, and so we're thinking of making that sort of just an album release party, having it be that, but we haven't started making posters for it or anything yet. So.
Right. All right. Well, do you mind playing one more for us?
Sure.
Excellent.
This one is called Beneath Your Tree.
Ready?
I could bleed for days, but my heart would still beat for you, dear. Yet I feel your gaze like a storm, like we've no idea where we're coming from, but the rain will subside by the morning.
I could drag my legs across the desert, but my lips would still thirst for you, dear. Yet I feel your gaze like a furnace. Though it burns, I go on, I keep crawling,
And the moon will rise.
in the evening I don't fall to sleep.
Beneath your tree and the wind will howl through your leaves and serenade me. You don't own me, but I'll take your lead down and out.